Transfer portal is open. There is roster movement galore. Are we going to see any movement on the coaching front for the University of Georgia? We'll talk about that next on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. He is Daniel. I am Clint. Together, the confluence of the two things, the convalescence and the confluence. The mic, just the mics are here. We're here, and we are Locked On Bulldogs. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. More on them in a moment. Thanks for being here. And every dayer, the first listen. You guys are the best. It's why we do this for fans, by fans. Somebody asked me the other day, I was introducing them to Locked On Bulldogs. They said, "Oh, so what kind of podcast? Are you guys like a serious podcast? Or are you guys like?" I said, "Whatever's next, it's that one." That's
you're gonna have to keep giving me options.
We are for fans, by fans. You guys are first listeners of the day, as well as the everydayers. We appreciate you. Loyal third segment listeners listening all the way until that time. Today we are talking about staff changes. Daniel, the portal is open. We've got a whole bunch of people in, a whole bunch of people out. This just in. We haven't heard nothing on no coaching news. Daniel, what?
I think some Georgia fans maybe thought we were going to this offseason.
How is that a thing, Daniel?
You know, I wondered if this was all just Georgia fan smoke, or Kirby is not one to let people go easily, right? We haven't seen it much in his coaching tenure. I mean, incredibly rarely have we seen Georgia Kirby Smart actually pull the trigger and fire a coach who was underperforming. We've had a lot of coaches move on. We have not had a lot of, I think it's fair to say that Kirby Smart is pretty loyal to his decisions, and he's pretty stubborn when it comes to his guys. Now,
he is.
Obviously, there was a lot of talk in the offseason about, or as we ended the season, about Mike Bobo. Mike Bobo's got to go. Mike Bobo's got to go. Let me be the one to say no one who is serious is shocked that Mike Bobo has not been let go. Mike Bobo ain't going anywhere. Georgia got to do a heck of a lot worse than they did last year, unfortunately, for anything to happen on the coaching front. So you better be hoping that Mike Bobo turns it around and you're wrong.
Yes, sir.
Because if you're right,
no,
it's going to be several years of being pretty dang bad for Georgia on the offensive side of the ball. And so new talent coming in offensively, I think we can all agree that Mike was not, he was not given a full deck in order to utilize on the offensive side of the ball. But the receiver talent coming in, Gunnar Stockton heading into his second year, I think everybody feels like there should be an upgrade. You mentioned to me pre-show ETN coming back. We got Nate Frazier coming back. And so obviously you get the Robinsons, and the running back room appears to be absolutely loaded with talent. And so there's a lot of guys there, the tight ends, the wide receivers, the quarterback. So we expect the offense to take an uptick. It's Stacey Searles, Clint, that is the one that I don't think there's anyone who could look me in the eye with a straight face and tell me that the Georgia offensive line did not woefully underperform. We're about to see the NFL draft in a couple months, Clint, and we're going to see Georgia offensive linemen coming off the board.
They're all going first round like we've had before, though, right, Daniel?
Nope. They're not doing that. We've had guys drop off from what we've seen. A guy like Ernest Green, I think actually regress as an offensive lineman. We've had guys not make the progression that I think everyone would have assumed that they would have made. I think of a guy like Jared Wilson. When I think about that, I just don't think that he's really advanced to the level that we thought that he would. I think. And then you look at the recruiting on the offensive line, and it's not been awful, Clint, but I don't think it's necessarily been what Georgia fans would love.
Hasn't been up to the elite standard that we're accustomed to on other position groups, notably even quarterback, which is quite odd. If you look at the quarterback room, number of 5 stars comparatively to the rest of the group, it's been a good run that Georgia's been on. However, linemen, not doing well. We got a bunch of big dudes who are all freshmen, sophomores right now. Who knows what's going to happen there? We still can't tell you their skill set that they possess and the ability they're going to have because they're completely unproven. Like just not even a rep to be spoken about. Kirby said before and this is what's so wild to me, before the beginning of the season, he listed 5, maybe 6 linemen that were going to be counted upon. We needed 7. I'll let you determine how that math works out and why our left tackle was replaced midway through the Sugar Bowl. Now, all the guys, 4 out of the 5 that he named are gone. Okay. We have nobody coming in that has reps, and Stacy Searles, the coach who was responsible for those 4 out of 5, who did get the job done, still here with newer, fresher, inexperienced talent. That's not usually a recipe for great things.
I think the fear of as a Georgia fan is development. I think we have a couple of projects you mentioned on the offensive line. We've got a couple of big, raw talent guys on the offensive line. Yep. Heck, we took an offensive lineman and they played no football in like the last 10 years. It's like since Pee-wees.
Correct.
We got a couple of projects on the offensive line. We got a couple of lotto tickets. I got a couple of guys that we want to see develop. Obviously, Kirby, a known developer of talent. Stacy Searles, I just don't think Georgia fans right now trust him to be the guy to develop these offensive linemen. I'm not going to lie to you, Clint. I will be shocked if the offensive line is not a position of marked weakness on the Georgia football team next year. I am fully anticipating the offensive line to be a relative liability compared to the other position groups on this roster. When I look around, I don't see many position groups I'm more worried about than that.
We have increased greatly. Wide receivers, running back, tight end, all have taken a major step forward. Offensive line has taken a major step back. And Daniel, I could hear it right now coming over the broadcast. It's another false start on Catalina at left tackle. It's another, like, Theus at right is another false start. Like, y'all remember those days? Don't you? Because I do. And it was gross.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be an area of weakness. We're going to come back after this, let you know of a couple more things that you are sleeping on. Let me tell you this right now. You, fan listening, are sleeping on this, and we're going to give you 10 reasons that you shouldn't be. But first, these. And these are, in fact, Rocket Money. Rocket Money is fantastic. It helps you find subscriptions that you didn't know you were paying for, maybe even twice or 3 times. It's happened to a few of us. Subscriptions that are there, it kind of turns into ghosts. You forget about it. Well, guess what? Rocket Money makes it easy. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor spending, helps your bills all in one place, and it can even grow your savings. Whether it's subscriptions or spending habits or even the goals you want to set for this year, Rocket Money has helped over 5 million users save a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year using the app's premium features. For us, that's the best right there. Canceling all the subscriptions that we don't want anymore, we don't use anymore. Plus their goals features, we've been able to automatically set aside money for the future. No more stressing. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster. Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Daniel, this is an exciting time. I have lost my co-host. He is gone. I don't know where he went. And that's fine. This is just like yesterday. If you guys aren't aware, if you're over on the audio side, go over to the YouTube side. You get to see Daniel. Just peace out. If you're over on the YouTube side, get over to the audio side. Hey, look, here's the deal. I talked about it yesterday. Many of you stayed around and talked about it with me. You were over on the YouTube. You were in the comments. You were chatting with us. But the Georgia Bulldogs got a whole dang unit of a basketball team. Like, I mean, a whole dang unit of a basketball team. We're going to give you 10 reasons, 10 things that you are sleeping on right now. And these are 10 reasons that you're sleeping on, and you need to not be to get into the basketball. So maybe you're a new basketball fan. Maybe you are not aware of what this team is all about and who they are and what they're bringing to the floor each and every night. Because this just in, we have 2 losses. We just beat the number 6 team. We're heading into SEC play. And the sky is really the limit for us right now. I was just explaining to the people, Daniel.
I'm back. I've been here the whole time. That people listen on audio, they don't know that I've been gone.
We're going to give the people, maybe they're new to basketball, we're going to give the people 10 things that they need to look at. And maybe this is like an introductory of why they should be excited and hop on the bus. Now, there's plenty of room. This is not like other wagons where people are going to say, get on. No. We want you on, plenty of room. So, Daniel, we're going to start counting 10 till 1 of the things that you should be excited about and into for this basketball team. Let us start with 10. Start us off. What is the number 10 thing that people need to know about this team, Daniel?
Number 10, I'm going to start here. I'm going to go college basketball is objectively more fun than college football, right? Like, here's what I mean. There's more games.
By the way, y'all,
more games are more fun.
When we talk about this, it's going to be a whole dang thing because Daniel and I may disagree on some of this stuff.
More games is more fun. You get a midweek game every week. You get 2 games a week, every single week. SEC basketball right now is as good as it gets. You're going to have ranked matchups. Georgia just beat the number 6 team in the country in the SEG. You're going to get these kind of matchups all year long. And it builds to the greatest sporting event in the world, which is March Madness. College basketball is more fun than college football. And which parlays right into my number 9 reason.
Okay.
Georgia's making the NCAA tournament. Georgia's going to be a team that is playing in the NCAA tournament. And I'm just going to spoil it for you right now.
Okay, go ahead.
You're going to care. Like you, the guy that's commenting on this video saying basketball is stupid. I don't care about basketball, whatever. When Georgia's in the NCAA tournament, you're going to cheer and you're going to care. And you're probably going to make some dumb comment about our team. You might as well get into it now because Georgia's making that tournament. And then you won't be a fake fan in 2 months when Georgia is dancing and playing in meaningful, like, national games and is an actual player in the college basketball postseason.
That's right.
You might as well get on now because Georgia's making that tournament. And when they make the tournament, you're going to care. So why not care right now?
Why not care? Here, we're going to continue the list. Number 8 thing that you need to get excited about. I like competition. Daniel likes competition. You as a fan like competition. SEC basketball is thrilling and competitive all the way. This ain't no random team out in the middle of a forest in the Pacific Northwest that plays nobody all year.
No.
And tries to make a run through. No, these are meaningful games all the way throughout. I'm going to list you the top 25 teams in college basketball, according to the AP poll right now, Daniel. And you tell me, you just get a little affirmation they in the SEC. Okay, it's a pretty simple game. Very simple. Tennessee, number 1.
Sure. Not for long there because they just got beat by Florida.
They just got beat by Florida.
Will be number 1 probably pretty soon.
Auburn, number 2.
Yep.
Okay, let's keep going. Alabama, number 5. Number 6, Kentucky, who we just beat. The number 6 team.
Sounds fun.
Florida, number 8, who you said will jump on up there. Texas A&M, number 10. Mississippi State, number 14. Oklahoma, 17. Ole Miss, 23. Guys, do you see a trend happening here with the SEC and competitive play? Number 8 is SEC basketball is wildly fun altogether. And we are now no longer a bottom feeder in the SEC.
We're one of those teams. Ask Kentucky. Ask Mark Pope. Georgia just hosted the number 6 team in the country. They turn around on Saturday and host the number 17 team in the country. And then they travel to the number 1 team in the country. And then they host the number 2 team in the country. You tell me the college football schedule where you're going to see that. As a fan, I'm just trying to tell you college basketball has the potential to be even more entertaining than college football. All right, number 7, Clint. His name is Samto Surreal.
This is erroneous. You have this at 7?
I got it at 7. There's other names on this list.
They're not.
There's other names on this list.
Not.
But I'm telling you, this kid's worth the price of your ticket.
Yep.
This kid is worth whatever you pay per month for your TV plan.
Sure.
He is an animal, an athletic freak. He is a rim protector. He is the exact kind of basketball player, Clint, that I know you love. Big, athletic, does not care.
Doesn't give
about it. If he gets his feet under him, under the basket with the ball in his hands, the hammer is coming down. And it is likely going to land on your face if you are an opposing player. Samto Surreal is as unique of a Georgia basketball player as as Georgia has ever had. Like, he is that kind of a 1998 Shaquille O'Neal type basketball player, guys. I'm not exaggerating.
Listen to the man.
I'm not exaggerating.
He ain't going to hit no free throws down the line. I get that. I understand.
Don't want him to.
But you give me 10 rebounds, a couple blocks, and you impose yourself on the other bigs on the other team. I'm here for it.
My man for Kentucky, 6'10", about 215.
Whatever he was.
He got both arms around his shoulders and literally just tried to just bury the hips and tackle the man. And Samto Surreal jumped and laid the ball in the basket, jumped with a grown man hanging off of him.
I know plyometrics ain't a thing no more, but I think Samto Surreal got some of that plyometric training in him to do that. Dan, he's jumping out of a pool with that kind of. Okay, my last one for you, and y'all, we did SEC, we did Samto Surreal. This is just defensive play. Yeah, should get you into Georgia basketball. This is number 6 for me. The defense is real. It's not going away. You might be off on the night with your shot. Like, that might be the case. That happens to the best of athletes. But you don't have to be off defensively. And this team, all them dogs playing, love to hustle and get after the ball. I saw so many balls on the ground everywhere that people were going after. Guys were just laying out their bodies for to get steals, cutting out through the passing lane, block shots. Daniel, it was good watching. And this is the brand of basketball that Georgia has, is stout defensively.
This is Mike White basketball. And so this is what you're always going to get. This is the team he's wanted since he has been here, and he's finally got the pieces in place to actually get it done. The defense is what's going to keep you in these games. Georgia shot the ball terrible against Ole Miss. You're going to have those nights in college basketball.
Yep.
But the defense still kept them in the game. They had no business being in that game.
None.
They should have gotten run out of the gym like we ran Kentucky out of the gym. But they didn't, because the defense is always going to keep you in the game. That's number 6. All right, we're coming back. Segment 3. top 5 reasons that you should be cheering for Georgia basketball. But first, these.
All right, I gave you defense to end before we went to the third segment. Daniel, hit the people with number 5 that they're not talking about on this team that they should be excited for.
Number 5 is Mount St. Mary's, Clint. My favorite low major small school that has ever existed, because they have graciously given us not 1, but 2 of my favorite players on this team, Deshane Montgomery and Dakota LeFew. Dakota LeFew, the shot's been a little bit off.
Yeah.
But his defense, as you mentioned in the last segment, Clint, his defense on the ball has been absolutely sensational. He had a couple of nice little runners. You know the three-point shot is going to come back. But this Deshane Montgomery fellow, Clint, I'm here to tell you right now, he's going to get thrown out of a basketball game this year for fighting.
Yes.
I promise you. He's going to get thrown out of a basketball game, and he's probably going to take one on the chin at some point this year. And when he does, he's going to get up and laugh about it. This is the kind of guy that you absolutely hate if he is on the other team, and you absolutely love if he's on your team. He's got nonstop energy. He is an absolute firecracker on the court. He gets everyone around him going. He's got great bounce. He's got a decent outside shot. He's an incredible defender. And just his activity and his motor is enough to propel this team. Deshane Montgomery and Dakota LeFew, both from Mount St. Mary's, 2 really good players, and another example of what makes college basketball so fun. We're playing Kentucky, the bluest of the blue bloods.
Yeah, literally.
And we're playing with multiple players from a school called Mount St. Mary's.
We are
on the court.
Correct.
40% of our players on the floor at any given time are from Mount St. Mary's. Imagine a scenario where a team like Mount St. Mary's is playing Georgia in football, and they're dominating. That's the beauty of college basketball. These guys are really good. We've got really good players, Clint.
Insanely good players. I'm going to hit you with number 4, and it's going to kind of be an okie doke one, so just stick with me so far. This team has been playing defense well, has been playing up-tempo offense. A couple shots been there. You said LeFew has been hitting them. I'm going to give you number 4 and a guy that is yet to catch on and will, I believe he will, and that's Blue Kane. Y'all don't realize this man last year was doing this for us with a not so stellar supporting cast. None of the recruits that we have now, but Blue Kane is not hitting sharpshooter shots like he was last year from the corner. Daniel, this man was just out here doing all manner of business.
Yeah,
hasn't been that so far this year, but this just in. We're 13-2 without him playing high efficiency ball. When those start rolling, when those threes, when Silas Demery just has to be fine hitting the 3-point, not the only shot we get from there. When that happens, y'all watch the flip out. Yeah. Because now all of a sudden you want to go ahead and collapse on Asa and Samto down there and Godfrey. Go ahead and do so. They're just going to pass it right back out there. Blue Kane's going to be sitting in that corner and just draining into the eye holes of people, and it's going to be glorious. That's my number 4. It's yet to come. Will be coming soon.
If Blue Kane gets it going, this team might be a top 10 team in college basketball.
We're not being hyperbolic.
We're talking about making the tournament. And as a Georgia fan, any seed, anywhere, put me in the dance and I will be thrilled. But this Georgia team might not be coming for just any seed. This Georgia team might be coming for a little bit higher on the list. All right, number 3. I'm gonna go with Silas Demery. He's the engine of this team. He does not always score the points, and he does not always get the assists. and he does not always make the right decisions.
Nope.
But Silas Demery is just the glue that holds this team together. And I honestly believe when this era of Georgia basketball is over, we're going to look back at Silas Demery as the guy, like the guy that everyone that has signed with Georgia in the last 10 years has said some version of the same words. I want to be the guy that puts Georgia basketball like on the map. I want to be the guy that like does that. I think there's a legitimate chance that in 5 years we look back and are like, it was actually Silas Demery. Like that was the guy that actually put Georgia basketball back on the map. And so he does it all for this team. He's incredibly fun to watch. And oh, by the way, he had a from behind block shot on a layup.
Yes, he did.
That was like, I don't even know where it came from. Clint, when your point guard is 6'5" and athletic and can switch onto a 5-man and defend him in the post, it is a massive advantage. Georgia doesn't have anybody on this team that's shorter than 6'4". It's another really fascinating thing about this team, that there are no short guys on this team at all, which allows us to be really difficult defensively because a guy like Silas can move his feet and play elite level defense. All right, Clint, number 2.
I'm going to give you 2 for 1. This is going to be, because number 1 is going to be clear as day when you talk about him in entirety. I'm going to give you 2 for 1. Number 1 is Mike White. Not only is he defensively scheming people out of their shoes, this guy keeps a level head. His guys play behind him. So far, I've watched other coaches look lost and confused.
Sure.
Daniel, on the side of the court, not Mike White. He's got this team pointing in the right direction. He's got the guy developed. He's building something. Oh, this just in. Go ahead and look at where was Santo? Where was he committed before he came?
He was committed to Kentucky, and then what he did was he came over here and he beat the pants off of Kentucky.
Oh, that's interesting. So this should continue, and go ahead and look at next year's recruiting cycle already, and the guys that have said, hey, Georgia's in the top for me, as well as let's bring it on back down to Athens. It's incredible what he's doing. Number 2 for 1 with this. The schedule of the basketball team finishing up. I've gave you all the top 25 teams. We play Oklahoma, Tennessee, Auburn, the next 3, 17-1-2 at the time of this recording, which is going to change. Ladies and gentlemen, that's plenty of opportunities to go ahead and show ourselves. We end the season. Florida, Texas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. South Carolina, Vanderbilt, not as good in basketball. It's up and coming. We have some chances down early on right now as we're getting hot to beat some top teams, and then down the run, get ourselves prepared for that March Madness run by fine-tuning a couple things. The schedule just matches up so well, I think, for us. We get a couple of good teams at home. We got a couple of tests on the road. And, man, if you want to go ahead and win on the road in the SEC, good luck to you. It's going to be a bloodbath. So
it's going to, like, if Georgia wins a road game in the SEC, it should, like, it will be unbelievable. Like, Florida went on the road to Kentucky and lost. And then Tennessee went to Florida and got absolutely run out of the gym. That's what it is going to be to play on the road in the SEC. So Georgia's got another ranked opponent coming to the Steg on Saturday in Oklahoma. And then you go to Tennessee. I mean, good Lord, if you're even competitive in Knoxville, that would be unbelievable. And then you get Auburn at home. My goodness. Auburn's the best team in college basketball.
Yep.
That is a really tough game. But the fact that we get a crack at Auburn at home is could be special. And then obviously going to have 2 against Florida, who might be the second best team in college basketball right now.
Look like it right now.
You're going to get 2 against them. You get another game against Auburn. You got Mississippi State, who, by the way, might be the best team in the SEC. Nobody's talking about Mississippi State. This schedule is, it's unbelievable. All right, number 1, we're running out of time. It's Asa Newell.
Come on.
There's nobody like Anthony Edwards. He's currently dominating the NBA. He's as much fun. He's as easy to like as there is a basketball player that you've seen. he's not as good of a Georgia basketball player as Asa Newell is right now. He's not as good of a basketball player for Georgia as Asa Newell is right now. Go back and watch the Kentucky game. Don't watch the box scores, please. If you're a casual, please do not talk to me about Georgia basketball.
Don't do it.
Go back and watch the Kentucky game. There were 7 straight possessions in crunch time of the Kentucky game on offensive and defensive side of the floor. 7 straight possessions where Asa Newell completely took over the game. He absolutely dominated offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, defense, offense. 7 straight possessions where he completely dominated the game. He makes all the little plays. He is the best player on the court. He's the most highly rated player on the court. He's going to be the highest draft pick of anyone on the court, and he works harder than anyone on the court. He does the little things. He does the dirty work. If that doesn't make you want to watch, I don't know what to tell you. You don't deserve it.
Ant-Man.
Go away.
Ant-Man is ruining NBA teams.
Sure.
Asa Newell is better today than Ant-Man was when he was here at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. And it's not close. Better college basketball player. Not more skilled, not going to score more points. A better college basketball player.
He hit that halftime buzzer beater right going to the half, Daniel.
The blocks, the defense, the rebounding, everything. The offensive rebounding, putbacks, the fouls drawn. He does it all. This Georgia basketball team is freaking fun.
It's a lot of fun. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We do this all over again. Love you, mean it. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.